Hi, and welcome to your first drive-through video of South Hill, Virginia. We're currently on 47, driving east towards South Hill, Virginia. We're a little bit outside, but we wanted to start the video and make sure you got a little bit of view of the countryside before actually getting into town. You'll hear us intermittently come in and talk about different places in South Hill, but don't expect us to talk the entire time, as since this is a rural town, there may not be things to talk about the entire time. But just enjoy the view of driving into South Hill, Virginia.
On your right is a gas station.
That is true. It's the Quick Fuel.
That's it.
One thing you'll notice in South Hill, Virginia, like many small rural towns in Virginia, is that Dollar General seems to own everything. And even in this town alone, I was just told that they have an 11th Dollar General in the greater surrounding area of South Hill. I would have to see how many are actually in the town limits, but you'll see your first Dollar General come up on your left, and you see the sign that says "Welcome to South Hill" on your right.
You can also do a voiceover after the fact.
That's also true, but
you can say what you want.
Yeah, but I think I'll have things come up,
Yeah.
and I know our listeners are listening right now, and they know this is our first video, so we have to figure it out. There is a Food Lion on the left, which has been there for a long time. It used to be what's called a Winn-Dixie. If you've ever read the book Because of Winn-Dixie, that's partly what it's referring to, is that grocery store. So that was very popular when I was a child here.
Wait, they used to be Food Lion used to be Winn-Dixie.
Yeah. Food Lion bought Winn-Dixie. We'll try to put references into the video
Pop
afterwards.
culture references, you know, like.
No, not those references. Our references, so they
Winn-Dixie.
believe what we're saying. I need to reference it in the Wikipedia. Like that Food Lion bought Winn-Dixie, or bought part of Winn-Dixie. But we're actually in South Hill now. We're coming up one of the main intersections. If the hospital is to the left and the fire department is to the left, but if you go down the next left, you'll go to what was called the CMH, or Community Memorial Hospital, which is owned by VCU Health, which the hospital has actually moved. They've built a new one, and we might eventually get to that. But the CMH hospital is still there. I think they use part of it for a elderly care facility. This is where my best friend lives. I'm not gonna say it on camera because I don't want people to know, but pointing to the other Chris number 2, as he's in my hometown for the first time, which is why we're doing this video. For those who didn't watch our first video on the channel, that explained a little bit why we are making this video, because we really enjoy drive-through videos, and we have looked at like random videos online of driving through this town. But it seems that no one does that completely. People just do it randomly, either for their hometown or towns that they go to. So we're trying to start it where any small town that we go to, we can drive through. So some of our videos may be a little more quiet than others if we don't know much about them, but I grew up here. So on the right, you'll come up is called Debbie's Drive-In. The best ice cream flavor to get is Blue Goo, which some people think is birthday cake. I disagree with that, but it is one of the best ice cream cakes. A lot of the baseball teams go there after they play baseball to go get ice cream, whether they win or lose. So
It's one of the funeral homes.
yeah, funeral home. That's one of my aunts. I went there. The Prissy Hippie, which is a beauty shop. It used to be the Greyhound bus station. Police station's on your right, and then we're actually going to go straight. We're going straight. We'll eventually come back to the other throughway, but right now we're going through South Hill on 58. And you can see this is the main intersection of town where this number 1 runs through north to south, 58 goes east to west. And it's one of the only places, number 1, you actually take a 90-degree turn, which is down the street from where we currently are. There's a few different places in the middle of town. We have like the donut shop, which that's the name of it, also what they sell. And we actually went there this morning, and if you see, I got a coffee from it right here. So that's what that's what I'm drinking right now. So if you hear me slurp, that's what's happening. Yeah. to your left, you can't see it, but there's Bringleton's Coffee, which is a local coffee shop. But it really is a smaller town. South Hill has about 4,000 people in town that live, but the greater community is around 7,000 to 8,000. It is 2025, or at least during this video, and one of the biggest differences in town now versus a few decades ago is Microsoft has bought a lot of property in the county, and so we are seeing a lot of people with advanced degrees starting to live in town working through Microsoft, which is very different than I think what the town's used to, considering it was more of a farming community before. South Hill was incorporated, I believe, in 1901, around that time. Again, I'll throw that Wikipedia article in there so you can reference that if I make a little bit of a mistake. To your left, you'll see there is a second Dollar General, which is just part of small rural towns now, is having a lot of those Dollar Generals.
Butts and butts, butts and butts.
Yeah, there's an attorney at law called Butts and Butts, and as kids we used to make fun of that. Still do today. Yeah, what if we move the I know it shows a little bit more of the car, but I want a little bit less of the sky. I don't know if you guys enjoy seeing this sky. It's kind of the same everywhere. But then you see a little bit of the hood of my truck, which I apologize for. It is a tiny truck though, so it's not like one of those big hoods. As you'll see, we're coming to what I call the second part of South Hill. So the first part was the old town of South Hill, and then this is the second part where we have some larger businesses. We have a lot of the fast food chains are here, such as Subway, KFC, Burger King, you may see those. Wendy's, McDonald's, all the routine ones. We just got a TJ Maxx, which has been nice. We used to have what was called a Peebles, which was our department store, but we've upgraded it to a TJ Maxx. We have some other places. We still have a Rose's, if anybody knows what a Rose's is. There's another Food Lion here, but this is where you see a lot of people come for daily things that they need. There's CVS is here. A lot of the pharmacies around town have closed, so the CVS is really one of the only places to get medication. So you'll see people come from different towns such as Chase City or Lawrenceville, which doesn't seem very far away, but a lot of it is driving about 30 minutes to get here. One thing I do miss about the new buildings that we see is the McDonald's you'll see on the right, and then there's a Pizza Hut to our left. They're very boxy buildings now. They don't have that unique roof that a lot of those places used to have. Like the Pizza Hut had the really large red roof, and I learned the other day that a lot of them invest in these boxy buildings because they can be reused as other businesses. So if the fast food restaurant ever goes out of business for any reason, they can sell the business and other businesses are more open to buying it rather than trying to turn a Pizza Hut roof into an auto parts store or something like that. So a little tidbit for you. We're gonna take a left. We're staying on 58 right now. There's a Cracker Barrel, there's a Home Depot back there. But again, we're going to the newest part of South Hill. I'm so excited for these videos, Chris. I'm excited to do some of our future videos, maybe about Burke, Virginia, or some other locations where our friends and family are from, as we expand learning about other people. And so growing up here, just telling you a little bit about my backstory, I went to the local high school, which we'll go by, which is called Tarkview High School. That is now closed, but we'll get to see the building later. I lived on the east end of town, and you'll see we're gonna cross over 85, which is our interstate that runs north to south through South Hill, Virginia. It's one of the big hubs between Richmond, Virginia and Raleigh, North Carolina. So a lot of people will say, oh, I stopped there to like use the restroom, or stop there to grab some fast food before heading either direction. So a lot of people don't know anything other than that they can stop for food and to rest. You'll see on the left, we recently did get a Starbucks within the last few years. It was very popular in our town, as well as a Five Guys. And then we do have a Walmart on the left. There is another drone video that we have seen on YouTube, one of those videos that inspired us to really understand why we should make these drive-through videos. And it was a drone video above the Walmart. So there's a duck out there. I didn't think that was there yesterday. There's a Bojangles, one of those popular places to eat fast food in South Hill. Me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, have I been to a Bojangles? That's like one of the only places we had growing up. People would bring in Bojangles in public high school, like if they came late because they had to go to like an appointment or something. That would be the really, like everyone would be really jealous of them. Until senior year where they said you weren't allowed to bring food from businesses into school, which was crazy because you could pack your own lunch. So people just started packing their Bojangles into a lunchbox. We also have a Dollar Tree. It is different. Well, I do know, I think Family Dollar and Dollar Tree ended up being bought by the same company, but now they just recently split. So we are at the end of South Hill. So I'm going to end this video, and then you'll get to see once we start on number 1 a little bit later. There's a truck. There we go. This is the Goodwill, which is not a bad place to go. So, okay, I'll see you guys in a minute. So we're coming back down 58. We're trying to do a few different camera angles here where we zoom in a little bit more so you can see the road. So we're doing times 2. There's nothing really on the left, which is why we've put it a little bit to the right. Some of the things I mentioned before. There is a large duck out front of that Sadler gas station. I don't know why. Yeah, there's a big building on the left called the Fit Club, which you can't see. You're looking at a hotel right now, but it used to be a bouncy house place for kids, and then it ended up being a motorcycle place, and then it was the Fit Club, and there's just a lot of things do flip, which is not a bad thing. I like reusing buildings. Again, we're going over in 85. We're going west on 58 right now. This is where the main people get on and off the interstate for town. We're going to keep going straight on this road, which the Route 58, actually, you would have to turn right. But there's the business and then regular 58. So we're staying on the regular 58, and if you took a right, you'd go on the business route, which is where we were, I think, at the previous part of the video.
Your Dutch angle thing.
Yeah. But that's part of it.
And that's the charm of South Hill.
Yeah. And
it's a little slanted.
And our plan here is to get on, we're basically going to go from 58 to get back on number 1 so we can show you our best part of the video. We can put in the link below, but there's a reference to another drive-through video of South Hill, which I think, again, inspired us. So we're going to try to do that same route for you to see. But it'll be a little boring for the next minute or so. We might speed this up, but I don't know how to edit video, so we may not speed it up. You may have to sit with us.
Uncut.
Raw, uncut video.
Butt Street. Is that where Butts and Butts grew up?
Maybe Butts and Butts grew up there, but now it's the Interstate Industrial Park because the other side of it is the interstate. But you can't actually get to it from the interstate because that's not allowed. It should be called the Highway Industrial Park because we're on a highway.
So did you like growing up in South Hill?
I did. It was a big enough town where I feel like I had some of the amenities. Now, I have now moved to a larger city, which I enjoy those amenities more, but I think especially childhood amenities, like I got to play sports, I was able to participate in YMCA basketball and baseball, and there were enough kids where it felt like I had a lot of friends and a lot of opportunity for that social and educational growth. I felt good about our high school.
You were in a lot of newspaper articles growing up.
Yes, I was. Mostly because the South Hill Enterprise was very popular when I was a kid, and therefore always had like the YMCA sports clubs and pictures of the local public school teams. So I showed a lot of the newspaper clippings to Chris number 2, and he was kind of making fun of me for being included in so many newspapers. Also, the South Hill Enterprise, I'll point out, sent you articles that you were in. So if they knew your address, they would laminate it and you'd get it in the mail like a week later. It was very nice. So that's why we were able to keep those as well, because they told you when you were in the newspaper. Also, you're allowed to comment on my driving as well. So if you want to
Please leave a comment down below. What you think of this driving?
Yeah, you can rate me, whatever. I see a lot of yellow flowers today, but they don't look like, I don't recognize them. Oh, I forgot to bring my camera in to my grandparents to take pictures of them. We have to go back with the cat food. My grandparents, who were on 58, Route 47, my grandfather was feeding a cat this morning, and my grandmother hates cats. So it was a very divisive conversation, but trying to make sure my grandfather has a pet soon, since it doesn't look like anyone owns the cat. But he keeps trying to feed him pork chops, not actual cat food. So we're gonna probably go pick up some cat food and deliver it to him. If I can get Chris number 2 to convince him to come with me. Do you like being referred to Chris number 2? I know we have to differentiate ourselves, so I know it probably doesn't feel good. But we're still on 58. We're going to end up getting on number 1, which is to the right, but we're going to go down to what's called Parkview High School. So you get to see where I went to high school. This is actually the route I drove to school every morning. From where we turned around, we got on 58 and would come all the way up to Parkview, which is this next light. It's actually not a light, it's like a blinking light. And I appreciate our viewers. As we're doing this first video, we're kind of talking through what feels good and not good. So I feel like I'm talking a lot, even though I said at the beginning of the video that I wouldn't talk a lot. So it's kind of odd, but we are pulling up to Parkview High School, which, as stated before, they ended quite a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at this point now. This road is Parkview Circle. Ahead of you is where our marching band used to practice. And then we're gonna kind of drive through and hopefully not get in trouble. It's shut down. It's a public road. It is shut down, yeah. It's been combined into a high school with the other school, Bluestone. They're now called Mecklenburg County High School.
Oh, so they still use it?
Yeah, no, they don't use these buildings now. Because they built a new. This was built in 55, I think. We were looking at the yearbooks yesterday. This is the Parkview Gym, which was built later than the school. I think it was like the 80s. It's newer than the rest of the school. And then you'll see that this is Parkview High School. So I used to park in the parking lot behind us, but it shouldn't matter. But you'll see.
Turn it into a restaurant?
Yeah, we could turn it into a restaurant or apartments. But yeah, Parkview High School right there. Look at that. I can move the camera and drive at the same time. Looks like they're doing construction. Or they're just using it as like a VDOT, I think, is just using it to put equipment here. Because I don't think they're actually doing anything to the school. This is where the GRTC used to be. Man, this is so sad. Oh, look, air conditioner. That's an inside joke, which I should tell you about. Our air conditioning just went out at my house, so I was like, oh, air conditioners, they're not using them. But that would be bad and not allowed. I don't even know what I'm doing back here. I've never driven back here.
On Tradio.
Could have asked on Tradio. Does anybody have a 4-ton HVAC system that I could just have? Oh, is there a route back here that I could drive? Well, look at that. Oh, I don't know if this is good for us to have this on video. I may cut this out, but never been back. I've been back here for Color Guard. We used to practice back here.
Yeah.
Oh, some kid ran out the back one day and like ran away. They caught him. Oh, that's where the band used to be back here. This was the band room. And, oh man, The color guard room. Oh my God, the color guard room was right here, and I was in color guard. That was great. There might still be a plant back there.
Have you ever been inside?
This was this is where the agriculture used to grow all their plants, and they had animals and stuff. There's a locker right there. What are their lockers? This is so fun. Who knew we would drive all the way around? I didn't realize they completely went around. That's cool. And we're going back. We're kind of in the center now. To the left is the gym. To the right is the school. There used to be some trailers and stuff sitting around. That's where we used to walk through to our classes. To the right. And this was usually partly the teachers' parking lot. I did driver's ed here. We would always meet in the morning right here at like 6 a.m. to go drive, which was not fun. I guess it was fun. I enjoyed driving, but I didn't enjoy letting other kids drive because they were terrifying to watch drive. So this is where we did marching band practice. As you see, it says like Parkview Marching Band Dragons. And then, of course, this was a field, not... I mean, it looks cool now, but...
Oh, you had to practice in the swamp.
Yeah, very swampy. Okay, we'll end this. Welcome back. So you got a good video of Route 58 and some of 47, but now we're on Route 1 going into South Hill. So we're getting ready to enter South Hill from the south side. That depends what direction you're talking about, but the south side, and we're coming in through the area which will go up to South Hill Elementary and some other businesses that we'll talk about as we get closer. You'll see that there's an industrial park on your right and some gas stations on your left that used to be called Red Barn, but I think it's Marathon now. There are some restaurants coming up that are very good. One is Los Cocos, which is one of the first Mexican restaurants that I was ever exposed to. I know the Backyard, which is a brew pub, is on the right, but I think they've either closed or are on hiatus right now. Los Cocos, again, the best Mexican restaurant you can go to. I might even take Chris number 2 there today, although we might go to the buffet, which is the movie theater, which we'll show you that at some point as well. So Los Cocos is on your left, Mexican restaurant, which is good. And then on your right is the Hardy Ford. My grandfather actually worked there for quite a few decades. Really enjoyed his work there. That's where I got this truck. To your left is the South Hill Elementary that was built back in, I believe, 2006. And so it's a pretty big elementary school. We're going to keep driving on number 1. The next minute or so may be a little quiet.
Smash the subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe to our one video. I don't know if people will like meta talk. We'll have to see. If anyone comments and says, I wish you guys would just shut up and let me enjoy the drive-thru. Just throw some music on there, which could be true as well. That's a neat place. Never really been there. I've seen it before. Buds and Blossoms Nursery. Brings my partner back something. I wonder if the car behind us, oh my gosh, they probably hate us because we're going a little bit slower than we should be. But we're in a town. It's okay for us to be a little bit slower. To the right is the Hazelwood House, which is an adult daycare center. A very wonderful place that I used to volunteer when I was in middle school. I think what led me into my current profession, which is not posting drive-through videos, which you would think it would be, but it's not a moneymaker, and nor do I want it to be. But I do work with the geriatric population in mental health, and I think the Hazelwood House was one of the places that really showcased why I value it now. Ooh, the News Progress. Is it not the South Hill Enterprise anymore? They might have changed names, or yeah, I don't know. It used to be the South Hill Enterprise on your left. Now it says it's the News Progress. I don't live here anymore in my town that I grew up in, so I'm learning some things as well as we're on this drive.
I'll have to delay the audio like a few seconds because it's so soon, dude.
Yeah. just because of what we're talking about, or?
Oh, because by the time you talk about the thing, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
out of frame.
That's true. That's true. You're right about that. That makes sense. So coming up on your right, used to be one of the Chinese restaurants, but now it's something else. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot. There was a karate place coming up on the right. Oh, it's still there. Yeah, United Tiger Martial Arts. And then past that, there used to be two really big tobacco warehouses. The one on the right burned down, and the one on the left, you'll see it's kind of a brickish building. They've turned into like a community center where they'll host things. It's called the South Hill Exchange. They'll host events where people can sell things that they make, or like kind of booths and things, which it's nice. But it used to be the warehouse. On the right, you'll see is a Mexican restaurant, El Saucito, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which used to be the Horseshoe. They actually, one of the big things about that building is they captured one of the serial killers back in the 1940s. So that was always a big thing about that building, is whoever took it over, they really always put a plaque or some poster talking about that. And then we're driving through the main business area of South Hill on number 1. So the library is up on our right, and so is what's part of the community college in the area. But we're going to take a left because that's what number 1, that's how we stay on number 1. And then you'll see on the right, we used to be the Town of South Hill building, although that was taken down. So I don't know if that's Town Hall or not, or if they've moved. The Railroad Museum, I don't know if that is still open, but there's a few different things. The Martin Collection, which is a store on the left, the local florist, Archie's, and used to go to my dentist on this street. A few different places. If you watch from the beginning of the video, we actually have passed this intersection, but we were going down 58. Now we're going north on number 1. I like the zoomed in because you can see some of the businesses better, but when we are parked behind a car, you really get the butt of that car, so I apologize for that. There's Harper's Jewelry, which has been a staple in the community, and it used to be the YMCA on the right, but that is now I think a church or a ministry. On the right, you'll see that huge steeple. That's part of the South Hill Methodist Church, and we're actually going to take a right here because I want you to see some of the other important residential areas in South Hill. One we went to yesterday. We actually went to 313, which is a newer restaurant made in the last 5 years, I believe, where they turned what originally was South Hill High School, then it turned into South Hill Elementary once Parkview was built in the 50s, and now they've turned it into apartments. And so you'll see coming up on the left a beautiful building that they actually turned the cafeteria into a restaurant, but it's called Lofts on Franklin. Yeah, beautiful building. They still have the beautiful red doors on the front, but 313, yeah, 313 will be up on our left as well. Yep, there it is, 313. Now we're just gonna take a left. Yeah, I used to go to elementary school here. Oh, there's a tennis ball on the ground.
They had the best swing set.
They had the best swing set. You can actually see the swing set is still there. It still works too. It's been there, I guess, 50 years or so. 70 years? Since 100 years? I don't know.
1,000.
This is the local Woodfield Country Club right in front of us. I remember swimming there as a kid, but I don't know too much about it, truthfully. I just remember the pool was really neat, and they had 2 diving boards, which are really cool. But you can see that they've made some new apartments and things in South Hill. That kind of brown and white building is new, which is very nice because I feel like some people may have been harder to afford housing with what I said, Microsoft coming in and the town getting a little bit bigger. So it's nice that they have access to different types of housing rather than feeling like you have to own a home. Ooh, that's neat. It's a whole playground.
It's a Planet Fitness playground.
It is. It was, for those who didn't see, it was purple and yellow.
Why did Microsoft buy this? Did they make it a data center or something?
Yeah, so I think it's data centers for Microsoft and other, like, they just needed a lot of land for cheap. And I think since you're in a...
Sounds like data centers.
Yeah, it does sound like data centers. And in the area, since tobacco farming isn't as lucrative as it used to be, and I know they do soybeans and other
Now
things.
it's data farming.
What's more lucrative than tobacco since people don't smoke? Data. So even if you're using Facebook or even watching this video has to be hosted somewhere.
But we're sponsored by Microsoft.
And we are not sponsored by anyone, obviously. And now the algorithm is going to say that we said sponsored and is going to ask us if this video is sponsored. It is not. It is not sponsored at all. So we are back on number 1. We just took that little detour to see South Hill High / South Hill Elementary / 313. It has a lot of names over the years. And we're back on number 1 going north.
Although maybe 313 can sponsor.
Maybe 313 could sponsor us. They could give us more of their South Hill school rolls, which were delicious.
The sweet potato cornbread.
Sweet potato cornbread. Oh, so good. I love their mixed berry salad with steak on top. It was very good. Yeah, and then there's some businesses out here. We got a few banks, and I think there's a fitness place to the left. So, not much. The Easy Stop, which is a gas station, has been making deli sandwiches since I was a kid. They always give you a thick hunk of cheese on it from a cheese block. So, definitely different than if you've never had it before.
The sign you can't see.
Yeah. And then we're going to go a little bit further to where VCU Health has built their hospital. And I think it still has CMH as part of the name. But you'll see, we'll get to that hospital, and then our video will end. And we're, thankful that you've joined us in our first long-form video of just driving through a town. And hopefully, maybe you've turned off the sound by this point because you were annoyed by us. Maybe you kept it on because you feel like we're good podcasters, which is not what we're trying to be, because I don't really have anything to talk about for a podcast long-term.
You did the first South Hill podcast.
I did. It is the first. Yeah, but I don't think they would like it because I don't live here anymore.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's not part of me anymore. It was part of me. So if they said, "Oh, do you want to talk about the '90s in South Hill?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm your man." But I don't want to be a representative of 2025.
We're super niche now because everyone has one. So
That's
yours
true.
could be about the '90s in South Hill, Virginia.
But you've heard the joke of like every 2 guys you meet want to make a podcast. Well,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
2 men talking on a video right now.
See, but we're only talking about making a podcast.
That's true. We're not actually making one. The closest thing to a podcast we're doing is making a video where they can choose to turn off the sound if they just want to watch the video, which I think is great. So it's not even a podcast. Also, the audio may really suck.
It
So,
probably does.
yeah, because
We're
I've
on
had the air
mics.
conditioner on.
The air conditioner's been on.
Yeah.
There's VCU.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta say
So,
hello to
VCU Health is to the left. Oh, you can't even see it. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's the hospital to the left. We'll end up driving over there, but I want to go through. Actually, we'll go there first. The Catholic Church is on our right. That's actually where I went to my prom. We used their banquet hall because it's kind of the only banquet hall in South Hill that's big enough. Very fun experience. They did not try to convert me to Catholicism while I was there.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I think there's a rule with the Catholic Church that there can be a line between like the church and the banquet hall, so it's not technically the church anymore, which is why we could rent it and use it. I've never actually driven over here. But yeah, VCU Health, Community Memorial Hospital, so they do still have CMH part of the name. I don't think they wanted to give that up. But yeah, I'm glad VCU's kind of helped. I think they've made it more accessible for health assistance, medical assistance, so that's been nice. So we're just going to drive around this, and we are not dropping off a patient, so I'm not going to stay here too long. I have a friend that works in security over here, but we're not going to say hi to him because I don't know if he remembers me. It's been a while. Yeah. I actually checked my friend's location, and he's in here right now, and I don't know why.
We gotta say hello.
Yeah, but I don't know why he's here. I don't know if he's here for working purposes or non-working purposes, but I hope he's okay. Unending hope. That's their current tagline, is they put "un" before something. So, but it's funny because unwavering dedication. But then I think of other words like undedicated or unwell, unencouraged. I don't know. Which I guess I'm making too many jokes. People got to have a tagline for something. And so the last thing we'll show you is one of the most popular places that I think people go eat. We talked about 313, which is a local family-owned restaurant, but the other one is called Cahill's, and Cahill's is a bar, music, a little bit of a music venue. They have a lot of artists come and play, and so we'll drive by that and we'll end the video. But to your right is a Mexican restaurant that's very good. I can't remember exactly the name. We'll see if we can spot the name somewhere. I just see Mexican a lot. Fiesta Mexico? Yeah, Fiesta Mexico. Which for the South Hill people would be Fiesta Mexico.
Fiesta Mexico.
But to your right, you'll see the Cahill sign, and so good food. There is, let's not mention him in the video. That's that, like we knew him in undergrad, yes. That is a person's name.
Is that his restaurant?
No, that is not his restaurant. I don't think he's from here. But we want to thank you for staying in the video. If you either skipped to the end and you're hearing this now, or you watched every second of the video and listened to every word that we said. I want to thank you for being a part of this. And Chris, do you have any words you want to say?
No.
Okay, cool. So, as you'll know in future videos, I may be the one who talks more. We'll see. But remember, Chris, too, is always behind the camera as well. He's always making sure the camera is pointing to the things that we talk about and what we need
Maybe
to do.
not this one.
But I appreciate you all being here. Please do not like or subscribe. I don't care about any of that. You can just watch and say, wow, that was a weird video.
Don't share it either.
Yeah, do not share it.
Please don't.
Yeah, unless, I mean, if you have a good reason, I guess you can, but we may even turn the share feature off. You may not even be able to. So, hope you have a great day. Thanks for being a part.